Hello and welcome back to TV 135. And today we're here with my friend here, Brandon Garcia.
How's it going?
And today we will be talking about the wonderless film Meshes in the Afternoon. I must say, it's a rather strange film. Would you agree?
Definitely, definitely.
My first question here is, how did you react when you first watched the film?
Okay, I had to actually rewatch it a couple times because at first I was very confused because I didn't know how to feel. I didn't understand the movie. It was very confusing. Yeah, it was just very confusing. I assumed that she, spoiler alert, killed herself because I just didn't know how to interpret it. So it just left me very confused.
Yeah, I have to agree. It was a very confusing film. Um, but yet, like, what was the strangest scene for you?
For me, it would be at the end. It would be the ending part where she tries to she gets a knife and she reaches for her husband, and as she tries to hit him, the mirror breaks. So I was really shocked because after the mirror breaks, her husband walks in, but she's dead, and like you see blood coming out of her mouth, so you could only assume that she's dead. So I'm assuming she killed herself, hence why it was very confusing. Um, I didn't know what to make out of it because I didn't know if her husband killed her, if she killed herself, is there another person there? But I'm assuming that she was just crazy and then she just went crazy and just killed herself.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. It was a very strange film, I must say.
Hmm. Yes.
I wonder what it was like way back then when they died. What was
Me
it like?
too.
How was it like in
Me
the
too.
film?
Yeah, that's why it's just it confuses me because I don't know if I'm supposed to get it or not. Maybe back then people must have gotten it or who knows, maybe they felt confused as well. I'm very curious to find out as to like if they were confused or not as well.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. My next question I must ask is what are your theme? What do you think the themes are for the film for you?
I had three themes that came to mind. The first one being anxiety, because the music kind of told the theme in a way because it let you know when you're supposed to be on edge or when you're supposed to be worried or wondering what's going on. For example, I took notes on it a couple of times, and I wrote down the music started banging and banging and banging as she would raise a knife or when she was getting followed. Another point was when she dropped the key. She dropped the key in the beginning of the film, and as she went to reach for it, the camera panned slowly, but the music got louder and faster. So that it made me wonder: is she gonna get attacked? Is somebody following her? But as she picks it up, the music went silence. So that kind of it helped me a lot during the film as to understanding it. Um, Another theme I thought of was realization. Maybe she's realizing who she is, or what if because there was multiple versions of her. There's three of them of her, four of them, and then the figure with the mirror as the face. So maybe she's realizing that those are her demons or those are her evil versions of herself, and that she's trying to overcome them. But at the end of the day, at the end of the film, she couldn't do it. So that's why she probably ended up dying. And then last one, I think trust. I'd say trust because she didn't trust that it was actually her husband at the end, which made me think: does she trust herself? Does she trust herself? Does she like not trust her husband? And obviously, she was right because when she hit her husband, it broke into mirrors, like glass mirror pieces. So those three themes I interpreted from this film.
Indeed interesting, I must say. Overall it was, I gotta say, there was a lot of themes in that film. Right? A lot of themes. So the next question is, would you ever show this to your friends or family?
For curiosity and wondering if they felt the same way as I did, yes, I would recommend it to them. I wouldn't recommend it as if you're, let's say, you have nothing to do, or how do I explain this? I wouldn't recommend it to watch it for fun. I would only recommend them to just, if I really was curious enough to see how everyone else felt about it, then yes. But if it's just a regular like day and the other movies out there, I'd rather go with the other movies.
I'd agree with that, what you said. I very much agree with what you said on that idea. Because to me, it's like, what else? What else is there?
Yeah.
Like if you're really into film and like some of the first experimental film, I totally agree with that. But
Yeah,
if
and
you're very casual, I don't think I'd recommend it to like people who are not very into it. Now, my next question. How would you describe the structure of this film?
well, I think it tells a story, but the music really describes the situation. It lets you know what moments are very important, which ones you should pay extra attention to, and even get a feeling from. So, I think it wasn't a traditional one in the ways of there's no people are not talking, but you do hear music. But we never really got like an explanation of what went on. So that's how I saw it.
Yeah, I'd agree. I basically agree. Now,
How did you interpret the film?
well, I
Because
interpret it as odd as like I get this, like if you said yeah this is experimental, I 100% jump on that because it was so off-putting at first, and then watching it again, it helped a little more make sense, but it was still pretty tough to figure out.
hmm yeah, me too. I agree.
Now I have one final question. How does this both follow and challenge story structure?
Um, Kind of how I said a little bit earlier. It doesn't really give you, you don't really hear people talking, but music, the way the music is used is similar to how today's is used, as the telling emotions, showing like a rising action, a falling action, an ending. It was really fast paced during the beginning of the movie because we were just trying to see what was going on, and it built maybe anxiety. It built anxiety for me. The music really told the whole story, if you will, as to sometimes movies can today.
Well, I thank you for being here today and allowing me to interview you.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have today. This is Anthony Negrete once again signing off.